Welcome back, everybody, to the New Orleans Saints franchise. We have 3 games to go this year and need one more victory to clinch the NFC South. We're taking on the Carolina Panthers, a team that we've already defeated once this season. But because of losing to the Cardinals in our last game and the Chargers a couple weeks back, we do not have a good chance at the number 1 seed. My goal right now is to see this team go into the postseason healthy. We have some key players on the injury report right now, such as Chris Olave. But we've had some players come off the injury report. Cole Strange is back. Our offensive line is back at full strength for the first time in a long while. Carolina is trying to still sneak into the postseason. They've won 3 of their last 4 games. Clay Singer is their second-year quarterback. They've had some success with this offense, and they have good pieces around him with Sean Kerr, the number 1 receiver. On defense, Brian Burns, Derek Brown, those are the 2 stars that lead the way and are tasked with slowing down an MVP candidate in Anthony Richardson, who's been nothing short of stellar this season in New Orleans. So for the first time in this franchise, we are trying to clinch the division, and we are underway. It's week 16. And Carolina's going to open at their own 25-yard line, and they're looking to spread the defense out right away. Clay Singer throwing over the middle, and the day begins with a John Glenn reception. He's the tight end, gets a first down. Now a run, and welcome back to Tevin Smith. He brings down Doug Wallace. So big for the defense to have 99 out there. 3rd and 9. Airmailed to the Saint bench. And that'll get the offense on the field for the first time. 2 receivers out there, and Jadarius Roby will open and breaks a tackle. Good start with a gain of 9. They go with Eddie Lovelock and Kevin Blackwell, the 2 tight ends. Roby off tackle in the secondary. Near midfield, stiff arm on J.C. Horn. First down. Looking to put a frustrating loss from last week behind them. Saints roll out. Richardson hits Pearman downfield. It's a 23-yard reception. He continues to help fill in for Chris Olave, and they get it to him on the end around. Pearman sprinting inside the 15, near a first down. In the backfield, that's Tavares Cofield. A spin, not really necessary there, but it's a first down. It's Roby in the game again. He makes the catch, and Jadarius Roby is taken down inside the 1-yard line. Can they punch it in? Off tackle, nowhere to go but backwards. Out of bounds at the 6. Loss of 5. So they go shotgun. 3rd and goal, Richardson. Off the mark. 2-2 Atwell in the area. And out comes Blake Grupe. Promising drive, but only 3 for New Orleans. Panthers empty again. 2nd possession facing 3rd and 5. A lot of time in the pocket, and the catch made. That's Glenn. As the defense softened up with the play going on far too long. 2nd down, Singer underneath again. Good hit from Patrick Queen. As they again face 3rd and 7, and now the blitz is coming. Pass nearly intercepted by Paulson Adebo. And that had 6 written all over it. Saints football at their own 34. This is 3rd down and wide open. It's Garrett Wilson. Still a good chance to see him lead the league in receiving this year. Cofield running and gaining 4. Offset backfield. Gilliam leading the way. Cofield has space. Makes a move on the safety who never had a chance. Out to the Panther 33. The dynamic Tavares Cofield is so much fun. This is 3rd and 10 New Orleans. Richardson chased out of the pocket, extending and finding Garrett Wilson on a spinning grab at the 17. 1st and 10. Richardson will keep it. Space to the outside. Has the first. Takes on contact. Down to the 2. First and goal, New Orleans. Roby this time straight ahead and into the end zone. And New Orleans takes a 10-0 lead on the Carolina Panthers. Really good energy to begin this game. Offense clicking again after a frustrating second half last week. And John Glenn makes the reception. He's been their best pass catcher so far. At the 49, pitch out Wallace with Aquanu leading the way. And that is enough for a first down. New Orleans showing pressure on second down. They back out of it. Singer fires up the seam. It's caught by Sean Kerr. He's the most dynamic player in this offense. Play action. Wide open catch. And into the end zone goes Sean Kerr. Carolina's on the board. And that is the number one guy you cannot let make the big play. 10-7 game in the second quarter. Play action for Richardson. Lofting. Caught! Kevin Blackwell makes the grab. And he's someone we really need to have out there when the games matter most. He is a game changer. But he's been banged up this year. Richardson fakes again. Laying out is Wilson. What a catch. Brought it in at the 25. Saints first and 10, and Derek Brown ruined that play from the start. Such a disruptor. Richardson fakes. Pressure put on by Derek Brown, and somehow Kevin Blackwell ends up with it. He just gave him a chance. Near a first down, 3rd and inches. No problem for Roby as they run it straight up the middle. Third drive in a row, they've taken it inside the red zone. Richardson, it's caught. And that's Tutu Atwell, who is shaken up at the end of this play. We've dealt with a lot of receiver injuries this season. Roby carries, bends it back, and is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. I love what I see from the offense right now, and they're getting back to who they are with the running game and the play action off of it. Great start. Now trying to protect this 10-point lead. Clay Singer back to pass. It's caught by Glenn. Works himself open near midfield. 2.5 on the clock. Wallace running wide. And taken down by Chad Binns after a 9-yard run. Single high look from New Orleans. They go short. Complete to Kerr to move the sticks. Down to minute 12 in this first half, and they set up a screen. It goes for a first inside the 20, and finally run down at the 9-yard line is Lindsey. And they're managing the clock perfectly here. Under 30 seconds to go. End zone, and caught for the touchdown by Jonathan Mingo. And as good as the New Orleans offense has looked, Carolina is right there with them. They leave only 21 seconds for Anthony Richardson, and you know, we don't let these situations go to waste. We're going to try to make something happen. Richardson, it's complete. Gain of 9 for Kevin Blackwell, 7 seconds remaining. That's enough time for a quick play. It's a screen. Atwell taken down. It's 4th and 1. And with 4 seconds to go, the Saints are going to run one last play. Climbing the pocket, launching is Richardson. In the end zone, it's knocked away, and that is the first half. Very good offensive display from both teams. Carolina's a tough team. These games always end up being a lot tougher than sometimes I expect. Now, we can't do any scoreboard watching because the Cowboys play the Monday night game. If we win out and they lose out, we are the number 1 seed. So we're going to need some help from the Steelers and then whoever they play afterwards. We are on to the second half. Tutu Atwell out there as the 3rd receiver, and it's Richardson opening with a run, and he's got enough for a first down. To the air, Richardson in trouble, and Derek Brown meets him. Pretty good coverage downfield. Carolina forcing a 3rd down and 11. They send pressure, wide open and caught. Tutu Atwell. We like having our speedy receivers out there, so we had to bring them in. From the 47, Richardson extending. That's caught by Atwell in the open field and then losing the football. But no, they'll say the knee was down. Saints keep it. At the 23, Roby through the middle, cuts off a block and down to the 6. He got through that mess very cleanly. Cofield back in. Richardson throws it to Wilson. That's a touchdown. Fake the handoff, throw the slant. And Garrett Wilson extends the New Orleans lead again. I'd like to see our defense clamp down a bit better now. Looking for a quick drive, and Clay Singer throws it up the seam to Brandon Lewis. They get into Saint territory. Pass broken up. That's a great play from Zaven Collins. Let's see if they can do it this time. They bring the pressure, and down goes Singer. Patrick Queen ends the drive as the Saints get aggressive. And they take over with a 10-point advantage. Play action, Richardson. He goes short. That's Lovelock in the open field. First down, Saints. 2 tight ends in the game, and a blitz coming. Richardson escapes the pocket, has the first down, and plenty of green ahead of him. Out of bounds at the 18-yard line. And that's the kind of play that's made Richardson such a difference maker this year. Back to Roby on first down. That is punched out and recovered by Carolina. Knocked out of the hands of Jadarius Roby, and that was clearly out before he touched down. And the Panthers take over in a 10-point game. End of the third coming. Dumped for Wallace. It's a gain of 5. Third down again. What do the Saints have dialed up? No pressure, and incomplete on the screen. They rushed it at least. The timing wasn't there for Clay Singer. So back to the offense. Up 10 in the fourth. A quarter away from clinching this division, and right up the gut, that is Roby. We're going to trust him even after that rare fumble. Up to the Saint 36, and play action. It's a pass right to Wilson by himself. Out at the 37. Working into long field goal range. It's 2nd and 12. And that pass is out in front of Jacoby Pearman. Just a flat-out miss. 3rd down and 12. You don't want to take a sack here, and that's exactly what happens. Bryce Huff. End of the possession. Carolina staying in this, but the offense hasn't done much in the second half. And Wallace gets wrapped up. That is Jalen Carter. 2nd down and 12. They push the pocket, and the catch made by Jonathan Mingo makes the 3rd down more manageable. Saints show pressure. They do bring it. Singer's pass is hauled in. First down, Carolina. 7 and change to go in the ball game. There's time. Open, caught by Kerr to the 44-yard line. Single high safety now from the Saints as the pass goes behind Adebo. Caught by Kerr, taking it to the 10. They tried to get more physical that time. Press coverage, and Kerr beat it off the line. 2nd down, Wallace wrapped up. Not quite in. 3rd down, Panthers. About 2.5 yards away, and perhaps a little bit further now. They're going to get Ike Ekwonu for early movement. 3rd down and 8. Kerr is in the slot. Singer buying time. Throws out the back of the end zone, and the Saints defense is going to hold. Field goal team comes on to cut this to a 1-possession game. And the New Orleans Saints lead by 7 with 4 minutes on the clock, trying to clinch this division. Carolina brings down a safety, and Roby opens, tumbles after a 4-yard pickup. They are running down the play clock on 2nd down. Play action. Richardson, he's taking a shot, and wide open. That's Pearman. He beat J.C. Horn. It's a touchdown. They've been setting that up all game long. We've hit those deep overs on the play fake over and over again, but finally got the look one-on-one, and nobody is keeping up with Jacoby Pearman. There is no chance. If you give Richardson time with that big arm, that's one of the most dangerous combinations you're gonna see. What a season for Jacoby Pearman. Finally in an offense that really fits him. 31-17. Carolina needs points and quick. They have their timeouts, but only 2:12 left. There's time in the pockets. Good coverage, though. Clay Singer has to make a decision. Coming back and caught. Wallace had to run a mile on that play. We're inside of 2 minutes. Setting up the screen. And blockers can't really get set up, but he's out of bounds. If they can score without a timeout, that's huge. But this is 4th and inches. Wide open. Lewis, he's out at the 6. How big would this be if they can keep those timeouts? Singer's throw, caught by Glenn. They're still in this. They need to get the football back. 7-point game, 1:35 to go, and they're kicking it to Jacoby Pearman, who fair catches it. He almost never does that. But they want the offense to end this. Roby up the middle, has a hole. Near a first down, he gains 9. One of the worst results the Panthers could have there. Roby, first down. And the Panthers use their second timeout. Again out of the eye, Roby running hard for 8. And they're out of timeouts with 1:25 to go. The Saints will take a knee. Now, they have to find a way to burn up a few more seconds here. 44 on the clock. Richardson running around, slides, and that's gonna do it. At last, the New Orleans Saints are back on top of the NFC South. They have clinched their playoff spot, clinched their division. And we're finally gonna have a playoff game in this building. Fantastic game again from Anthony Richardson. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Roby runs 2 in with 100 yards rushing, and Garrett Wilson and Jacoby Pearman were both excellent. We get the job done, and that is win number 10, with 2 games remaining. That's the way you hope to play when you have a really rough game you want to put behind you the week before. We simmed through this week, and the Dallas Cowboys were victorious, and that means we cannot win the number 1 seed. And only one team gets a first-round bye. How important is it to become the number 2 seed? I think it is important. It guarantees that you won't face the number 1 ranked team unless it's in the conference championship. But we are going to go through the remainder of the regular season also in this episode. We can't chase anything greater than the number 2 seed. So we're going to wrap up the season, check on all the stats, all the awards, and see what seed are we, and who is that playoff opponent in the wild card round. We're also still trying to get Anthony Richardson that MVP. We are not going to be resting our starters. We are playing for that 2 seed and trying to build momentum going into the postseason. Joe Burrow currently leads MVP voting. Anthony Richardson is right behind him. And Burrow does have some rushing success this year. Not the touchdowns that Richardson has, but Burrow has more passing touchdowns than Anthony Richardson. So it is a very tight battle with 2 weeks to go. We should have Chris Olave back for the playoffs. Montez Sweat also back for the playoffs. Antoine Priestley only a week away from returning. So, next up, we're going through this matchup against the 8-7 playoff hopeful San Francisco 49ers. We play good teams down the stretch. We are certainly going to be battle-tested going into the playoffs. So let's jump into the Saints' first possession in this game. Anthony Richardson, play action, and he's looking to go deep. Down there is Pearman, and somehow he runs under it. down to the 5. 67-yard catch. How many quarterbacks can make that throw that far downfield? Richardson caps off the drive, sneaking in a touchdown and further building his MVP case. San Francisco, next possession. 3rd and 10 for Brock Purdy, and he gets sacked by Paul Redman. New Orleans opens the game strong, gets it back. They're at midfield. And Jadarius Roby gets a big lane, cuts it outside. And it's a gain of 23 yards. This is a wildcat look. Tavares Cofield is the quarterback, flips it forward. Jacoby Pierman all the way to the end zone. That kind of takes away a touchdown perhaps from Anthony Richardson. But Pierman runs in another one. He is red hot right now. New Orleans goes up 14-0. And meanwhile, Brock Purdy just dealing with all kinds of pressure early in this game. He gets sacked by Zaven Collins. Defense trying to get off the field again, but only a 3-man rush that allows Purdy the time to find Deebo Samuel downfield, and it's a gain of 25 yards. San Francisco brings it into Saint territory, and leaving George Kittle open isn't the best option. 49ers take it inside the 10, and that is a touchdown to Deebo as they score a much-needed early touchdown. But could their defense come up with any answers? Richardson rolling left and trying to hit Jacoby Pierman again. It gets intercepted by Jair Brown. Interception number 8 for Anthony Richardson. San Francisco trying to close the gap, and that is a sack for Juan Beard, who continues to help fill in for injured Montez Sweat. Purdy flush from the pocket, able to find Deebo Samuel for another big catch. Purdy really trying to will this offense downfield. They fake it this time, and Juan Beard reunites with Purdy in the backfield for his second sack. This is later in the first half now, 4 minutes to go, and getting open downfield, that's Brandon Ayuk. They've kept around the stars in San Francisco pretty well in this series. This 2nd and 10 has Purdy hit down again. Patrick Queen. He's put together a really nice season. And San Francisco has to take a Jake Moody field goal. And this becomes a 14-10 ball game. Saints ball after a hot start. They cool off. Now before halftime, that is incomplete for Garrett Wilson. One he should have come down with. Saints go 3 and out. 49ers get it back, and once again, it's Juan Beard. Unblocked this time. So it's a very quick exchange of possession. Saints have it again with 30 seconds on the clock. And Richardson trying to get things on track. He's going to launch one to Wilson. It's a touchdown. It's just incredible seeing the kinds of plays we're making this year. And we never had the chance to do stuff like this in the past. I mean, come on, man. That and the Pierman play are just unreal. 21-10. Juan Beard does it again. A couple of these were unblocked, but that is a 4-sack half for Beard. The Saints get 7 sacks in the first half. We're late in the third quarter now. 21-13. Sliding grab going to Deebo Samuel. San Francisco keeping this game close. They're going to run this outside. Great blocking downfield. That is a touchdown for Curtis Mason as they close the gap and try to tie the game on a 2-point try. But Deebo can't hold on with Tomlinson in coverage. Saints still lead. But the offense outside of the big plays wasn't doing much right. That helps there. Great move by Pierman. An ankle breaker to the 46-yard line. But Richardson at that point, 4 for 11 passing. That was his 4th completion. Roby runs it up the middle. That's a big first down. The passing game isn't quite clicking. You want to lean on the run. So here's Jadarius Roby in the open field around the safety. That's a touchdown. Roby runs the Saints to a 2-possession lead. in the second half. We move into the fourth quarter, 28-19. 49ers, third down. They get behind Tommy Tomlinson. That's a great catch. Into the red zone at the 5. Over the middle, incomplete for Ayuk. Played perfectly by Chad Binns. So San Francisco kicks again to go back to a one-possession ball game. Feels a little bit similar to that Panther game. We have a touchdown lead late. Trying to run some clock. Roby doing well, getting a first down with over 100 yards on the ground. We keep pounding the run. Bouncing outside. Roby not going to the sideline. That clock's got to keep moving. We go down to 2:04. This is a 3rd and 12 now for Richardson. And there is Tutu Atwell. And he's taken down at the 1. We needed him in that spot. And the Saints just forced San Francisco to burn timeouts, and they happily accept a field goal with under 2 minutes remaining. San Francisco down 2 possessions again, just running out of time, and this is a turnover on downs. New Orleans scores back-to-back victories, and this is win number 11, putting a serious dent in the San Francisco playoff hopes, but getting us closer to wrapping up that number 2 seed. This was a strange game. It looked early on like it was an MVP-like performance for Richardson. He ends with 7 completions. Their coverage was good, a couple throws were offline, some catches in traffic didn't work out. So Tutu Atwell has 4 catches, Garrett Wilson has 1. We completed passes to 3 different players. Tutu Atwell also got hurt toward the end of the game. And Juan Beard had 4 sacks. So many weird things happened in this game. Juan Beard is actually this team's sack leader, as Tevin Smith and Montez Sweat have missed time. He's been there to fill in for both those guys. And really, I know the narrative around Beard has been that he's this big bust. It's really more that he's a solid complimentary pass rusher. Maybe not at the expectations we had for him as a first-round pick, but he's not really a bust. But we got one more game to go through, and what a matchup it is. The Cincinnati Bengals are the number 1 seed hopeful, and we have 2 of the top MVP candidates going head-to-head in Week 18. This is a possible Super Bowl matchup. We don't play a division opponent here, unfortunately, but this is the next best thing, I suppose. Richardson did slide down the MVP voting after that last game. It wasn't the kind of game I wanted him to have. But this would be our last chance to try and wrap up the 2 seed and get Richardson an MVP against his top competition. Let's jump into the first quarter. Cincinnati football. And Joe Burrow finds Jamar Chase, the NFL's 3rd leading receiver. They get into Saint territory. And on 3rd and 4, he gets behind Debo, and that is a touchdown. Too easy for Cincinnati, and they strike first. Here are Richardson's numbers going into this finale. 31 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and 6 rushing scores. 3rd and 5. Good throw out to Tutu Atwell for the first down. Then Saints go out of the eye. Play fake. Richardson, it's open! And caught by Kevin Blackwell for the first. We keep calling those play fakes, and this time we dump it underneath, and Reggie Gilliam brings it out to the 16, and Kevin Blackwell again has to come out of the game. On 3rd and 3, Garrett Wilson not able to hold on through that massive hit. We only get 3. Let's go into the Saints drive later in the first. A lot of Jadarius Roby here. I wanted to establish the run, and I really wanted to run Roby a lot in these final games. Sets up the play action on 3rd down. Deep to the end zone. And caught for the touchdown. Jacoby Pearman. These 2 have put together an incredible episode. And it's a really good job with the footwork in the back of the end zone. Both feet are in. 32nd passing touchdown for Richardson on the year. 10-7 game. Joe Burrow responding. And Burrow has a wide open Jamar Chase, who brings it inside the 15. Cincinnati looking for 6. Saints try to bring pressure, and there's the answer. Touchdown, Brian Diaz. It was looking like we'd have a nice back and forth game between these MVP hopefuls. Saints ball, Roby in open field again, near the 50 with a fast start to his day. Play action from the 41 and sliding out of the pocket. Richardson lofts it out to Pearman. He brings it inside the 15. Now Richardson trying to put the Saints on top, and his pass gets intercepted. And that is the 9th this year for Richardson, and it takes potential points off the board. We move ahead in the second half. Bengals up 17-10. And here is Tavares Cofield, a nice spin there into open field. You'll notice that he's not really getting used much in these games, but he does check in for this drive and gets a first down. This was by design, though. I wanted to limit his touches in these games. I wanted to win them. Nice catch by Wilson. But he was not a guy I was willing to give a huge workload. I want him healthy for the playoffs. We have other options, including Garrett Wilson. That is a touchdown, and the Saints tie the game at 17. Later in the third, Saints have it again. More play action. Where are we going? How about Wilson again? Inside the Bengal 30. Richardson putting together another big game. And on 2nd and 3, patiently waiting, and Wilson almost brings in another one. Usually he comes down with those, but then we throw it to him on the slant. He'll get 8 that way. We move ahead, 2nd and goal inside the 1, and sneaking in is Anthony Richardson. That's another touchdown, and the Saints take the lead in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow and the Bengals trying to respond. It's the 4th quarter. Joe Burrow completes to Darius Portis. They added another superstar pass catcher to this offense alongside T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Part of why Burrow is in this MVP chase. His pass catchers are incredible. He is as well. Here he extends on 3rd down and can't make a play. It's chased down by Joe Richards. Bengals have to take a field goal. So the Saints are still ahead, 24-20. Richardson again for Garrett Wilson. I wanted to see him be the league's leading receiver as well. He came in just under Justin Jefferson. On 1st down, going deep, and Wilson down there, but he can't make the play. Instead, 3rd and 5, Roby tries to run outside and only gets 1. Curious call there on 3rd down, but I considered this 4-down territory the entire time. And Wilson holds on for a massive conversion. Drive continues, 6 minutes left. That's Blackwell. Another 1st down pass. Saints trying to build this lead up, under 5 minutes to play. Roby can't get us the conversion this time. We're going to take our points now and go up a touchdown with 4 minutes left to go. On that previous 4th down try, we weren't even close to field goal range. So 27-20, Joe Burrow looking for Chase and finding him near the 50. We had no answer for Jamar Chase, but also I didn't put Tommy Tomlinson on him. I didn't have him shadow. He saw T. Higgins most of the game. Here, 2nd down. What a route by Chase! It's a game-tying touchdown. The connection with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase is unstoppable. And I have watched this route back so many times. I am just in awe at this specific play. So we're tied up 27-all. It's Anthony Richardson. He wants the MVP. Sets up a screen. Cofield out there to the 40 and stops. Under a minute to go. 1st down. Richardson. Deep shot again. Wilson. No, can't make the catch. Could have won the game in the receiving crown perhaps with that play. Richardson deep again. What a catch by Pierman. And a fantastic route on the comeback. Usually, he's just running deep. This time, he puts his foot down, turns back, and it's done perfectly. We're into field goal range. Richardson, he has to buy some time here. He throws it away. Didn't think it was time to be the hero. 3rd and 3, we go to Roby, and he is stacked up. And too far away to consider going for it. We're just going to take our field goal try. And Blake Grupe puts the Saints ahead with 24 seconds remaining. And it's Joe Burrow trying to bring his Bengals back down the field. 1st and 10. Wide open catch for Chase. Out to the 44. Now, they didn't use their timeout there until 5 seconds left. So it comes down to one final play. Joe Burrow lofting way downfield, and it's knocked away. And the game is over. The Saints win. Very bizarre. I know time management can get messy in here, but usually they have a timeout there well before that runoff. And the Bengals lose their final game of the year to our New Orleans Saints. And if we were to meet them again, Tommy Tomlinson has to shadow Jamar Chase. I don't know if that'll be enough, but it's got to be part of the plan. That is the best quarterback-receiver connection I have ever seen against us. So let's see the playoff field. We are the champions of the NFC South, and the New Orleans Saints will host 7 seed the Washington Commanders, who went 8-9 this year. They also had an MVP candidate at quarterback. We are entering the postseason as healthy as we've been in a long time. No starters are out. Anthony Richardson was amazing this year, but he is 3rd in the MVP voting. Head coach Tim Cannon, 8th place. Are you out of your mind? I really wanted to see Richardson be MVP, though, and I felt that last game was, us giving it our best shot. 40 total touchdowns this year for Richardson, 33 through the air, 9 interceptions, 4,300 yards, and 7 rushing touchdowns, 408 rushing yards. Jadarius Roby, almost a 1,200-yard rusher. He was excellent. We covered 3 games today, and Roby ran for 100 or more in all 3. Garrett Wilson, 1,320 yards, 13 touchdowns. Finally, that season that we were waiting on from a receiver in this series. Best since Chris Olave in year 1. Defensively, Juan Beard is the sack leader, like everybody, of course, predicted. And in the secondary, 4 picks for Chad Binns, who really came into his own as an elite safety this season. The leading passer this year is Joe Burrow, and it's not hard to see why, given all the targets around him in that passing game and how pass-heavy they are. Jadarius Roby was top 10 in rushing, and Garrett Wilson, 2 yards away from topping Jamar Chase. Chase took the lead in that final game, and that final catch did it. So we are going to face the Washington Commanders in our first playoff game, and we have never won one in this series. They're a defensive football team, but they do have a quarterback that played at an MVP level this year in Bernard Blanchard. He's not high rated, he's not high dev. He just became their starter this year after being a backup in Green Bay, and he had a fantastic year. They have a receiver that is an elite playmaker. He is 23 years old. It is Donald Ryans. Tommy Tomlinson should be seeing a lot of him. They are not coming into the postseason with a lot of momentum, and they're the only under 500 team to make it because they were a wild card. Usually the 8-9 team is like a division winner in an ugly division, but they played in the same division as the Dallas Cowboys, who are the 1 seed. So it's just a weak wild card field. So as the 2 seed, we do get to face a team that is under 500, and not have to face the Cowboys until the NFC Championship should both of us get there. But we are healthy. We had a great year, and this team has all the potential in the world. Now, after all of this, can we get the job done when it matters most? We begin that playoff journey next time against the Commanders. Thank you all for watching today's video, and the best season by far of the New Orleans Saints franchise. There's more work to do, though, and that playoff game is coming your way next week. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.